फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स,
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।
Hello everyone, you're watching Cricket Next. I'm Sarama Kaushik. The big news of the day is about Team India ahead of the second test match. Well, Ravindra, Jadeja and Rahul have been ruled out of the second test match. Jadeja sustained a hamstring injury on day 4 in the first test that India lost to England. Well, if we talk about Rahul, he complained of right quadriceps pain. Now, in place of these two cricketers, Team India has announced 3 of them in the squad ahead of the second test match. We have Sarfaraz Khan, Saurabh, Kumar, and Washington Sundar for the second test match. Now, what do we make of this Indian team ahead of the second test? Let's hear it out from Chetan Narula and Jamie Alder. Hi, Chetan. Hi, Jamie. Good to see you here. Chetan, first of all, how big this blow is of Jadeja and KL Rahul missing for the second test?
Well, hello to everyone. पहले तो मैं कल के शो पे नहीं था, तो पहले वो ही भड़ास निकालनी है मुझे अभी थोड़ी सी. Yeah, I mean, it's been unbelievable last 3-4 days. खैर जडेजा की इंजरी का कल ही पता चल गया था जब वो रन आउट हुए थे. He went back clutching his hamstring. तो उसी टाइम पता चल गया था कि it was not looking good. Rahul one I wasn't aware of. I do know that Shreyas Iyer was getting treatment in between overs and during the drinks break. उनको कुछ back का उनको treatment दे रहे थे. I'm not sure. So I'm hoping there's nothing there. So I was surprised by the KL Rahul news. But look, it's a major blow. इंडिया ने 400 रन बनाए रो के. उसमें से जो 2 खिलाड़ी हैं जिन्होंने अच्छे रन बनाए, obviously I did not like the way KL Rahul got out, but it's okay. जितने भी wasted dismissals हुए थे इंडिया के, like Shreyas Iyer and whatever, I am okay with KL Rahul's dismissal because of the ball. कि वो बॉल ही ऐसी थी कि उस पे मारना था, and he had been batting for so long कि ठीक है, you know, sometimes you get tired. It's not like he threw away his wicket 10 minutes after lunch and all. So I am not saying कि I'm not justifying his dismissal. I'm just saying कि of all the dismissals, I am maybe okay with Rahul's dismissal क्योंकि वो बॉल half tracker थी और उसको मारना ही था. He just didn't get enough power on it, maybe because he was tired. I don't know. But having said that, आपके पास 2 ऐसे बल्लेबाज हैं जिन्होंने proper application दिखाई, who did not throw their wickets away. और अब वो दोनों चले गए हैं. विराट पहले ही नहीं है. So from that perspective, कौन बनाने वाला है इंडिया के लिए runs? जब top 4 batters mid wicket पे out हो जाएंगे, catch हो जाएंगे, तो उसके बाद जब इंडिया 100 पे 4 होगा, तब कौन बनाने वाला है इंडिया के runs? So it's not great news. Yeah, it's not great news. Sourabh Kumar ki inclusion, I think Rahul will be able to tell you more. But from जितना मैं उनके बारे में जानता हूँ, जितना मैंने उनको देखा है, he is, you know, he's a left arm medium pacer. So he's a bowling all rounder. So his inclusion is more of कि like क्या हम सिराज की जगह पे इनको खिला सकते हैं कि, you know, we get a lower order batter kind of a person and that kind of a player. So anyways, Sahil will be able to tell you more, but yeah, these inclusions, I'm not sure they're making sense, but they can't even make sense क्योंकि जिनको आप replace करने जा रहे हो, they are really big players, and Indian cricket is not ready for this kind of replacement issues.
You're right there, Chetan, because Jadeja and KL Rahul were the only ones who scored maximum runs in the first innings against England in the first test match. And now their absence will hurt India in the second test. Srini, how do you see Jadeja and KL's absence, and who do you think should be involved in the 11 in their place?
I mean, a big setback. The 2 guys who, one was among the runs, one got you kind of was your main spinner, and 0-1 into a fighter series, and you come in with this kind of a, yeah, it was a bit shocking. Thankfully, from whatever I could understand, I mean, little bit, I'm told it's not so serious, so KL is not going to be away for too long. But that said, it still is a big handicap. As far as replacements are concerned, well, I mean, see, you will have to. The problem here I see is whatever replacement you bring, you'll have to be very careful about how you maintain the batting and this thing depth. And in that,
Yeah.
I think there'll be this. Obviously there is going to be this lure of wanting to play Kuldeep because again you'll
Yeah.
want a left spinner. But I would like to think here, you can probably, I don't know how this goes, but I think there is a chance for Washington to step in. Reason being, number one, he's seen what crisis is, okay, because he was part of the GABA hospital bed, hospital ward, sorry. So he knows what crisis is like, when it hits the dressing room. That's number one. Two is, I have no doubt whatsoever when it comes to his talent as a batter, okay, and he's a utility fielder bowler. So all in all, I think he's a good asset. He's a good asset to walk into any 11 in a moment of crisis. Problem with Sarfaraz or between Sarfaraz and Rajat, Patidar. See, the numbers are stacked up in favor of Sarfaraz. Okay, there is no doubt about it. Rajat may be slightly more senior. I think he is, right. I'm not very sure.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
might,
yeah.
but what he might have played, what, 10 odd first class matches more than Sarfaraz. उसी उतना ही फर्क होगा ना, उससे ज्यादा क्या
हाँ,
फर्क?
ज्यादा फर्क नहीं है, ज्यादा फर्क
Yeah,
नहीं
but I would like to believe the numbers, the average, everything would majorly. I'm not so much into numbers, especially at the first class level. But my guess is, if I'm right, Sarfaraz's numbers would be way ahead of Rajat in terms of first class batting. So by virtue of somebody who's like kind of put in the hard yards, kind of, I would obviously go with Sarfaraz. Middle order, in the absence of KL, I think there's no choice. We're not choosers anymore. So you will have to kind of inject some kind of flexibility there. And I think Sarfaraz is very good, considering if you want him to make his debut, he'll be more than happy to kind of flex wherever you want him to. So yeah, two adequate replacements among the names that have come in, I see, are Sarfaraz and Washington. Although that lure of wanting to play Kuldeep, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much India will be able to resist it. Um, I don't see a place for Kuldeep.
Oh, okay. Jamie, a lot many
I come
people
back
were
to that
talking about Sarfaraz Khan.
expression of yours.
Huh?
I come back to you with that for that expression of yours.
Yeah,
Why I said
I'm just shocked. I'm shocked by what you have said. But
the
anyway, let's
reason
go ahead.
being that what with the kind of pace that he has, correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, like, if y'all have a different view, the kind of pace that he has in the air, okay, purely for that, I'm trying to understand what kind of turn will he be able to get on wickets like those. Okay, that's one. Let me complete it and then I'll leave it to you.
No, that's fine.
What kind of turn, and from what I what saw of England, one of the things that I noticed on this batting lineup is the one ammunition that you must carry with you at all times is precision, and which is what we still have with Aksar, kind of those darts that he can throw, and then kind of use turn to your benefit. I don't know that lack of pace in case of Kuldeep is going to be much useful. That's number one. And two is batting. Yeah. Like, I just want some depth in the batting,
Okay.
Okay.
especially with
Well,
KL.
Chetan, I'll come to you. No. I'll come to you, and we'll talk about Kuldeep in detail. First, let's hear from Jamie and Sahil as well. Jamie, we all know, a lot of people were talking about Sarfaraz before the start of the test series, and when the squad was announced for the first two tests, and he wasn't there, everybody was questioning the team management that why he's not involved in the team. And now, when he's involved in the team, do you think he'll get a place in the 11 for the second test?
No. And my answer is linked to just what Srini and Chetan were going on about. In my book, you play Washington Sundar and you play Kuldeep Yadav. Very straightforward to me.
Okay.
I don't need Patidar. I don't need Sarfaraz Khan. I need Kuldeep. Washington Sundar in 4 matches has got 2 ducks, but he's got 85 not out and 96 not out. His batting, yes, he's not that skilled, but he's offering you more than Shubman Gill and Iyer are going to offer right now. You need Kuldeep, and like I always say, whenever Jadeja goes out, he gets replaced by two guys. Jab bhi isko chot lagi hai, it has thrown India's 11 totally out of whack. And unfortunately, now with KL Rahul, India are in a real hole. Two massive players, KL Rahul based on the 86 that he played. Yes, I agree with Chetan. The shot was not the best. Perhaps it was on, but in that innings before Jadeja, he looked the most likely of getting 100. The second player who looked likely to get 100, Jadeja. These two guys gone. It's not a simple thing. When Hardik Pandyas and Jadejas go out, you cannot just look at bringing in one batsman and one bowler. You need an all-rounder. Washington Sundar, his batting is going to be very, very crucial in these series because the top six is going to flounder. He's a lefty. He brings you confidence. And then Kuldeep's skill is just too, in my book, it's just impossible to keep out. Hats off to Patidar for being here. Hats off to Sarfaraz. You don't need to bolster your batting right now. You need all-rounders in Washington Sundar and Kuldeep's bowling. You need him.
Okay. Own choices, and they have their own opinion about who should be in the 11 for the second test. Now you have tracked these three players, especially the two of them, Sarfaraz and Sourabh, in the domestic cricket as well. Going by those records and going by that form of these two players, what do you think? Do they deserve a place in the 11, or you'll go by the same standards as what Jamie and Srini mentioned, that bring in Washington Sundar and there's no place for Sarfaraz for now?
No, I personally feel that bringing in Washington will be a ride on the adventurous route, because I don't see this management at least taking that route. So they'll stick to the specialist route, and I feel Rajat Patidar is your best bet right now for the number 4 position. Not because of the runs he has stacked up in the first class circuit, but the clutch knocks which he has played for Madhya Pradesh over the years, on tough tracks, right from his debut in 2015 against Baroda. It was a turning square track and he scored 100 in the second innings. So from those days, 9 years ago, he had shown signs that he's a clutch player who could score those difficult runs on difficult surfaces. Then, if you just move back a little, that IPL 100 in the qualifiers, the only uncapped player to score 100 there. I'm not saying to compare two different formats, but just the mentality which he brings to the table and what he did for Madhya Pradesh when they won the Ranji Trophy, the amount of difficult runs he has scored over the years. He averages 45. His first class tally is 4,000, close to Sarfaraz Khan. But I think the difficult runs which he has accumulated over the years, and the latest being against the England Lions, where he single-handedly scored that big 100 when the others struggled. And I think that 100, after that 100, he was called up to the test squad. And the next game, Sarfaraz scored a similar 100, 150 against England Lions. And that probably pushed Sarfaraz case. Otherwise, अगर वो रणजी ट्रॉफी में रन करता रहता और जब तक वो इंडिया ए के लिए परफॉर्मेंस नहीं आता, तो सरफराज को भी वेटिंग गेम खेलना पड़ता, जो अभी तक चल रहा है लास्ट 2 सीजन से. So I think going by those things and the way this team is going to be formed for the second test, I personally feel that कि Washington के ऊपर बैटिंग वाइज इतना रिलाय नहीं करने वाले. उसके लिए 4 पे तो someone specialist has to do that job, and for me it's Rajat Patidar right now ahead of Sarfaraz Khan, because we know this management follows that Q culture. They don't take the adventurous route. They follow that Q culture. Rajat Patidar is going to be at 4. Shuman is going to play on next game. If he fails in the next game, Rajat moves at 3 and Sarfaraz probably comes at 4 if KL and Virat are still unavailable for the third test. That is how I look at things right now. And when it comes to the toss-up for the third spinner, I agree with Jamie and Chetan, and slightly disagree with Srini on that front, because I feel Kuldeep, is definitely required. And having 2 left-arm spinners in the similar mold, we saw how it backfired and how Oli Pope kind of countered that threat by just sweeping and reverse sweeping. And with a wrist spinner coming into play, those sweeps are not going to be that well connected for sure if the ball is turning square in Vizag. So I feel Kuldeep should get a nod ahead of Saurabh, Kumar and Washington Sundar for now for that third spinner job. But batting depth is something which they must address, and they should be looking to address now that both Jadeja and KL Rahul are gone. So they are like two proper batters are gone out of your 11. So that is how I look at the function of this 11.
Yeah, I made a mistake. I said he's a medium pacer. He's a slow left-arm orthodox. I made a mistake.
UP.
UP and RPSG, I think he plays for.
Yeah.
RPSG, मतलब squad में है, he hasn't played.
Squad में.
Yeah. Okay. So Chetan,
so basically, again, just summing up, Patidar.
Yeah, I know what you're. Yeah. नहीं, I'll explain. हाँ, ठीक है. अभी हाँ. Ramya, go ahead.
Sahil, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I was saying
I'll go
Patidar
ahead.
ahead of
I'm
Sarfaraz.
keeping my name wrong today. Yeah, I'll go ahead. Yeah.
So yeah, Patidar ahead of Sarfaraz. It's just not because of the mountain of runs Sarfaraz has accumulated in the last 3 years, but just because of the tough runs Rajat Patidar has scored. And having seen him for the last 8-10 years now, he has scored those difficult runs for MP over and over again, for his own teams, for the India A's. So he definitely deserves a look in at number 4. Probably number 3 will be better suited for him when Shubman Gill, finally the management runs out of patience with him, because he hasn't been doing anything in the last 11 innings with a best score of 36, is not doing himself and the team any good, especially when you've asked for a number 3 position. So that's a very vital cog in the setup, and number 3 has to be your the consistent performer. We ran out of patience with Pujara, right? So I don't see a very long rope for Shubman, and this test is going to be very crucial for his personal test career going forward.
That's right. So we have two major concerns, Chetan. One is about the batting depth, and the second one is about whether to keep in Kuldeep or not, because that's a question about frontline spinner. So how do you address these two questions? And according to these two pointers, what do you think should be India's 11 for the second test?
Okay, पहले तो मैं श्रीनी के उस पॉइंट पे आऊंगा कि अबाउट कुलदीप स्पेस. सो सेकंड इनिंग्स में व्हाट वी वर लुकिंग एट, वी हैड द स्कोर कार्ड जो वर्ल्ड फीड का मॉनिटर होता है, उसमें रविंद्र जडेजा वाज द वन हु वाज, एंड श्रीनी हियर दिस एक्सप्लेनेशन, ठीक है, उसमें जो जडेजा हैं, ही वाज द वन हु वाज वेरिंग हिज पेस द लीस्ट. He was bowling within 88 to 92 kilometers per hour. Okay? Because of his natural pace, he was getting the maximum turn out of the 3 spinners. Okay. Now, Ashwin and Akshar Patel, unka jo pace ka variation tha, that was going from 84 to 98. And they were, while Ashwin got his wickets with a slower delivery, slower pace, which was keeping low, he was bowling at a quicker pace to get more turn. तो जब आपका wicket slow हो जाता है, when you are getting slower turn, then you need to bowl at a quicker pace. You need to bowl a quicker pace. You need that variation of pace so that आप 85-90 से bowling करते करते 90 to 98 पे ज़्यादा bowling करो, और wicket लेने के लिए 85 to 90 वाली ball slip in करो. So the first question, I'm not saying कि Kuldeep should play, but the first question is who has the better variation of pace when it comes to red ball cricket, when it comes to first class cricket. In my mind, that will be Kuldeep Yadav. Uska do reason hai. A, he's played more first class cricket. He's a much mature bowler, as Jamie is going to tell you. And the third reason which I want to add is, being a wrist spinner, especially, he has to naturally impart more pace. He can bowl slowly when he's giving that loop. लेकिन अगर वो गुगली bowling करेगा, ठीक है, और कुलदीप यादव करता है गुगली bowling, तो जब वो गुगली bowling करेगा, जब वो wrong one डालेगा, he has to naturally impart more pace to it. So if you get a slower wicket, ये बहुत technical हो रहा है, but still that is a major factor. So on a slower wicket, when he's bowling those googlies, he's imparting more pace, he's getting more revs on it, he's putting more rip on the ball, so he's going to get more turn. That is why I would go in favor of Kuldeep Yadav. Ab the point here is कि आपका team का balance, it's completely short. It's completely short. What Hardik Pandya is to the ODI team, Ravindra Jadeja is to the Test team. Completely gone है आपका balance. So now you need, आप क्यों सिराज को खिला रहे हो? सिराज was a wasted player in the first test. मैं बोलता रहा हूं पिछले 2 हफ्ते से, you need to play 1 pacer, 3 spinners, you need to play an extra batter. चाहे आप डेब्यूटेंट खिलाओ, चाहे आप पाटीदार को खिलाओ, चाहे आप ध्रुव जुरेल को खिलाओ. अगर विराट होते तो मैं श्रेयस और राहुल दोनों को खिलाता. इसीलिए this is the reason why I said that. आप 220 रन चेज नहीं कर पा रहे हो on a slow turning wicket. You did not need मोहम्मद सिराज, और मोहम्मद सिराज की वजह से तो बल्कि एक नेगेटिव इंपैक्ट हुआ है. और वो नेगेटिव इंपैक्ट क्या था, मैं आपको एक्सप्लेन करता हूं. I'm not blaming Siraj for anything here. He's not suited to bowling on these pitches. But my point is, उसका नेगेटिव इंपैक्ट क्या था? आपको डे 4 3 ओवर बॉलिंग करके न्यू बॉल लेना था. उन्होंने क्या किया? Let's get Bumrah to get the reverse swing and Jadeja we'll bowl 10 overs and see what we can do. उसके बाद हमारे पास सिराज है to use the new ball. So we will start the new ball with Ashwin and Akshar, and then we will hand it to Siraj because Bumrah might be tired with the first 10 overs. That was the negative impact. You needed the new ball straight away, not wait for 10 overs. आपके 70 रन तो वैसे भी बना दिए उन्होंने उस 10 ओवर में. So that was the negative impact of having a second pacer कि हमारे पास ये option है. Option नहीं था आपके पास. You lost the game in that. 70 रन जो बने हैं वो एक घंटे में, you lost the game with that. You needed that second new ball immediately. Bumrah and Ashwin bowling together, and you should have ended the game there. But no, उनको तो अपनी करनी है, उनको तो प्लान्स बनाने हैं, उनको एक्स्ट्रा तो करना ही है ना जुगाड़ राहुल द्रविड़ को. तो ठीक है, किया उन्होंने. Anyway, so now my point is, अब आप मुझसे playing 11 पूछ रहे हो. While all the guys were answering, I have come up with this playing 11. It is probably the worst playing 11 of India that I've ever written. Probably worse than the Gaba playing 11. और उसका मैं reason देता हूँ. क्यों? क्योंकि Gaba में मेरे को, while I did not have any confidence except on the last day when they were chasing 300, तब मुझे लग रहा था कि chase कर लेंगे, जैसा मैंने उस दिन anniversary पे मैंने बताया. But they had Ravi Shastri in their backing corner. Ravi Shastri is a great mindset coach. Ravi Shastri deserves an apology from the Indian cricket fans. ये जो सब के सब अपने आप को चौधरी बनते हैं ना ट्विटर पे, he deserves an apology from them. जिसने भी ये कहा था कि 2020 में इंडिया beating Australia was thanks to our NCA coach or under-19 coach. He deserves a lot of credit which he's never gotten. Which is why I'm saying कि ये 11 maybe, but India is playing at home, so maybe this 11 will be good enough. So let us come to the point. Rohit Sharma, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Shubman Gill, Shreyas Iyer. I don't know who's batting where, but they have to play. Shreyas Iyer, मैं आपको पहले आगे बढ़ने से पहले एक बात बता दूं. India needs a new test captain. India needs a new cricket coach. If India loses this series, Rahul Dravid should be sacked before the series ends. Okay. India needs a new number 3 in Test cricket. India needs a new number 5 in Test cricket. Shreyas Iyer is not cut out with the kind of attitude he has. Okay. Anyway, but अब इंडिया के पास कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है, खिलाना ही पड़ेगा. नहीं तो आपको पूरी प्लेइंग 11 डिस्कस पड़ेगी. Right? Rohit, Yashasvi Jaiswal, Shubman Gill, Shreyas Iyer. You have to play Rajat Patidar. Then Shikhar Bharat. I'm leaving one spot वहां पे. रविचंद्रन अश्विन, अक्षर पटेल, कुलदीप यादव एंड जसप्रीत बुमराह. और जो स्पॉट मैंने छोड़ा है उसमें आप डिसाइड करो कि यू नीड टू प्ले एन एक्स्ट्रा बैटर और यू नीड अ बैकअप लाइक अ वॉशिंगटन सुंदर और अ सौरभ कुमार. व्हाई सौरभ कुमार? क्योंकि इंग्लैंड के पास इतने लेफ्टीज नहीं है टॉप ऑर्डर में. यू हैव अ बेन डकेट एंड यू हैव अ बेन स्टोक्स. तो उसके लिए आपके पास रविचंद्रन अश्विन है. On these slow turning wickets, ये जो left arm spinners हैं, they are getting that ball turning away outside that off stump. Akshar Patel, Ravindra Jadeja, Jack Leach, Tom Hartley, which is why Sourabh Kumar has been brought in. Obviously, Sourabh Kumar is not going to replace Ravindra Jadeja.
Nitin, did you complete your 11?
Yeah, so that 11th spot is either your Washington Sundar or your Sourabh Kumar. So do you want me to repeat the 11? I'll repeat the 11.
After Shreyas.
After Shreyas, Rajat Patidar to debut. वो नंबर 4 पे बैट करें, 5 पे बैट करें, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Then Shikhar Bharat, obviously you have to play a keeper here. Then I'm leaving a spot open. Like I said, it can be either Washington Sundar or Sourabh Kumar, or you want to play a second pacer. And the other spots are Ashwin, Akshar Patel, Kuldeep Yadav, and Jasprit Bumrah. So that one spot that I'm leaving open is either Washington Sundar or Sourabh Kumar for a debut, or even you want to play Mohammad Siraj. Kyunki Visakhapatnam cannot be a raging turner anymore. It cannot be a raging turner. That option has just gone out of the window. अगर आपने raging turner बना दिया, 2 दिन में मैच खत्म होगा and India is losing.
Okay. Well, we've heard the 11 from all our panelists, and we have a lot of questions from our viewers. So we'll straight away go to the rapid fire round. But just before that, I guess Srini has a point to make about the 11 and the inclusion of Kuldeep in the 11. Srini, can we go ahead?
Yeah. So it was there in my mind, so I'll just put it out. See, the thing is now, for me, KL Rahul not being there in the 11, okay, is a big blow. Okay,
Yeah.
it's as because Virat not being there, I don't know. With the kind of touch and form, the way Shreyas gave his wicket away in the second innings. No? I was
Yeah.
like, it was irritating. I find it, I've like that like kind of it was a soft dismissal. It was a very frustrating dismissal. So the point that Jamie made when he said that he sees a spot for did you say Washington and Kuldeep? You said right?
Yeah, Jamie said that.
I'm saying, yeah, if you're going to just to replace these two, you bring him. What I was hoping that Chetan would say, and he did say, is I've been saying now for 5 days, you don't need a second pacer. So that second pacer
Yeah.
that goes to another batsman. But having said that, Visakhapatnam is a high-scoring ground. This is where Indian batsmen get daddy hundreds. So
And it's a red ball pitch. And it's a
you're
red
going to
ball
need
pitch.
two pacers. So yeah,
And and it is going to be a slower turning wicket again. It's going to be a slow turning wicket. 2016 में England played that inaugural test match here. 4.5 दिन लगे थे उनको out करने में, and second innings it was very slow, very slow.
Okay.
But
So just to
yeah,
quickly wrap this up now, mujhe somehow I get this feeling that to make up for the loss of Jadeja and KL Rahul both, which leaves a gaping hole where your batting is concerned, I will want a specialist batsman up there. Okay, and for in that purely for the hunger for that I have seen in Sarfaraz. I'm not saying I've not seen much of Rajat Patidar, but the hunger that I have seen, when it comes to Sarfaraz and his ability to stand there, his ability to stand there and score those daddy hundreds. For that reason alone, I give him that opportunity in the middle order. It's been pending for a while now, purely on the basis of the performance that he's given, and why I kind of said Washington and not Kuldeep is obviously one of the reasons was kind of the Chetan says going to be a slow wicket. I don't know. I mean, like whenever that thing is revealed when the Visakhapatnam test. But for me, what is important is Kuldeep. Yes, I do agree. You would want a left arm spinner, and in that you have Aksar. Use him wisely. Use Aksar wisely. What gives me the hope in Washington is the fact that he is an intelligent bowler. He can be flexible and he adds to your batting while you still retain one left arm spinner. That was the
एक सवाल.
mindset
Srini,
I
one
had.
question here.
Yeah, sorry.
With Ashwin there, with Ashwin already there, any off
Yeah.
spin bowling, you do not need Washington to bowl.
I know that, but yeah, fair enough.
That's just
Fair
not going
enough.
to happen.
I'm saying the bulk of the bowling still happens between Ashwin and Aksar. Again, depending on how the track is. Okay, who knows if they really dig that strip up and make it into a dust ball
No,
that
give
one
me.
expects it to
I
be,
just
then
want
you
just one
probably
question. I want to
drop
ask.
Siraj and
Even
go
if
with
you,
Kuldeep.
even if you, no, that's fine. I'm saying even if you want to give 2 overs to Washington Sundar, why would you do that when you have Ravichandran Ashwin? He's not getting tired. वो थक नहीं रहा है. He can bowl all day from one end. आप उसको पूरा दिन bowling करने को बोलोगे, वो 45 ओवर डालेगा एक दिन में. डाला भी हुआ है एडलेड में.
Dala bhi hua hai, but like, yeah.
ठीक है, एडलेड
Okay.
में डाला भी हुआ है वो. So my point is, Washington Sundar plays just as a batter. If Rohit Sharma tomorrow gives 2 overs to Washington Sundar when Ashwin is present on the field,
Which is
that
what
would be the
Aksar
most
has played
unbelievable
on
thing.
most occasions as a batter.
That's what I'm saying. So if he plays as a batter. So Washington Sundar की
You
जगह you
need
play
depth
a
in your
batter.
batting because 230
Washington Sundar
तुमसे
की जगह
चेस किया नहीं जा रहा है केएल को रख के जडेजा को रख के.
So you're
the
saying that
only
you
reason,
go, Chetan, you're saying that you bring in a batter and a frontline spinner. That's what you're
You
saying.
don't have a KL, you don't have a Virat Kohli, you don't have a Ravindra Jadeja who's going to go out there and put runs on the board for you.
see
आप कोई भी अटैक लेके चले जाओ.
the only reason I am tempted to play Washington Sundar is as a lower order left-handed batter.
Plus the kind
He
of
can
form
attack
Shubman
their
Gill
left
is.
arm spinners. He can attack their left arm spinners. They are going to play. I don't know if Jack Leach is going to be fit enough or not. But
I think Bashir should play.
Bashir aa jayega.
Bashir will come.
Shoaib
Yeah.
Bashir aa jayega.
Or
So
Jack
Bashir might play. Bashir will probably play, but Jack Leach has that lesion over his knee where the blood is accumulating. So I'm not sure if he's going to play. So and Anderson is going to come back, and Anderson is probably going to come back.
Lagta hai.
Game set match.
Okay, so it'll be an interesting test match in Vizag. But before going to
So
our
Ramya,
rapid
before
fire
we go
round,
to rapid fire, I just wanted to ask everyone, why are we so obsessed with batting depth in Test cricket? I still don't understand when Aksar is batting at 9. Why do we want batting to go that deep? Why can't we make peace with the fact that we need to go to the days when you add 6-7 proper batters and their job is to score runs,
Our
right?
proper batters,
The answer lies in
because our
that
proper
word
batters
proper.
are not scoring runs from the last 4 years.
The answer
If
lies in
Jadeja
that
and
word
Rishabh
proper.
Pant at 5 and 6 are your highest run getters, that is your answer there, Sahil. हमारे
No,
batters
but
कुछ नहीं
these
कर रहे
guys,
हैं.
these guys would be on their way out, Chetan, after this test any which way. Shreyas and Shubman are
That is not the
walking
point.
that
You
tightrope
asking me a
any which
question,
way.
मैं उसका जवाब दे रहा हूँ. कौन इस टेस्ट मैच के बाद वे आउट पे जा रहा है या नहीं कर रहा है, that is for later.
ये टेस्ट मैच तो
Right now,
निकालना है
the
ना.
answer to your question is कि पिछले 4 साल से हमारे टॉप ऑर्डर ने रन नहीं बनाए हैं. That is the reason why Pujara and Rahane are out today.
No,
और उनके
I'm not
replacements
sure
are also not scoring runs.
whether you guys read that statement from Wasim Jafar who suggested that Rohit should bat in the middle order now because there's no stability. So make Shubman
हाँ, ये
open
कर लो
and
पहले.
Yeah.
Rohit drops to 3 and 4. I just read that. So,
हाँ, ये कर लो
Okay.
पहले. बस यही बताओ करने के लिए. Anyway, let's go to the
Oh,
questions. I think a lot of
yeah,
answers.
okay.
A lot of
Yeah,
answers
we
will
have
come
a lot of
with-
answers will come from our viewers' questions as well. But first one, the question that has been repeated a lot many times in the chat box. We'll come to Vian Singh's comment, but Jamie, I want to know from you. Everybody's talking about Patidar, and a lot of chatter is going around that. But given a choice between Patidar and Sarfaraz, who would you like to see in the 11?
It's a 19-20 wala thing because they both have experience, they both bring domestic form, and they both have 150 plus scores in the last week or so of playing for India A, which after the Ranji Trophy ends up being the final criteria for selection. Patidar got 150 at a strike rate just under 100. Sarfaraz got 161 like 4 days ago. Uste pehle in South Africa playing in Benoni, he got 250s. So it's a 19-20 call. You have to see the conditions which are going to be there in Vizag. Sarfaraz has a very fixed role. That is only and only to bat at number 5, play aggressively, take some risks. Rajapatidar bats 3-4, not as risk-taking. I know he got a 151 at a blazing strike rate, but that was an anomaly in his career. Sarfaraz is the guy who goes out and does more exciting things. So it's just going to come down to the vacancy kahan pe hai. Agar KL Rahul ki jagah 4 pe hai, I would go for Patidar. If you're going to rearrange the batting order and make number 5 open, then I go with Sarfaraz because it's two very different batsmen with two very specific roles. एक 3-4 पे खेलता है, एक 5 पे. 5 वाला 3 पे नहीं खेल सकता, 3 वाला 5 पे नहीं खेल सकता. So it's a 19-20 call for me based on the conditions on the match day on
And probably
Feb
whoever is
2nd.
batting better in the nets. Whoever is standing
Probably, yeah.
Perhaps. Okay, so let's move to our rapid fire round and would request our panelists to please make it rapid so that we can take a lot of questions that are coming in. So let's go ahead with the first one. Vian Singh is saying Kuldeep Yadav is must in the team. England struggle against wrist spinners. Vian, we have already discussed about Kuldeep Yadav a lot in this live. So if you haven't heard our conversation, please rewind and we'll be giving answers to the other questions now. We have a question here. Indian batting habitually performing poor and too defensive in crunch situations since 2019 World semi-final. Then why is Vikram Rathore there as a batting coach? Any specific reason? Sahil, what do you think?
No, I don't take batting and bowling coaches way too seriously. I think the real work is done by the head coach. And at this level, sometime during the World Cup, Vikram Rathore had come for a mixed zone session. And he was asked about how Virat Kohli is going about things. And he himself said that at this level, I'm not coaching Virat Kohli or telling him technical flaws or stuff like that. It's more about the mindset. And I think mindset flows from the head coach. Batting coach and bowling coaches are just those wheels of the car, which kind of keep the ship moving. Even during Shastri's tenure, it was what Shastri did at top, not because of what Bharat Arun and other support staff did along with him, not belittling their role, but I'm just saying that the mentality flows right from top. So iske andar matlab, you just can't make a Vikram Rathore or a Paras Mamre a scapegoat for the defensive mindset. I think something some other things are at play, which we did discuss yesterday after India kind of defended from the word go while chasing 230 odd.
Okay, Sahil, can you read this comment from Vian Singh right now on screen?
Having Vikram Rathore as batting coach is like having KS Bharat as batting coach of India in 2030. It could well happen.
See, where batting coaches and all the role where they play becomes important, is that more than so as Sahil pointed out about Vikram saying in one of the press conferences that it's not a things are not at a stage where he's going to get technical and coach Virat, so there's nothing of the sort. So here is where that level of coaching is all about, more about man management, and it is about friendship. It's about trust. At that level, a Shubman Gill. So to take the example of Shubman right now, Shubman may have a slight feeling in his mind that boss मेरे को नंबर 3 पे मेरे साथ गलत हो रहा है. मैं नंबर 3 बैट्समैन कभी था ही नहीं. मैं नंबर 4 या 5 पे बैट करता था. वहां से आपने मुझे उखाड़ दिया, मुझे आपने ओपनर बना दिया था. आज आप फिर मेरे को बोल रहे हो मिडिल ऑर्डर में चले जाओ. तो अगर मिडिल ऑर्डर में खिलाना ही है तो यार 5 पे खिला दो. मैं 4-3 का बैट्समैन तो मैं हूं ही नहीं, मैं कभी था ही नहीं. I'm just thinking, I'm not saying thinking aloud, right? अगर उसके दिमाग में ये है, वो किससे शेयर करेगा ये चीज? वो एक इनसिक्योरिटी प्लेयर की होती है कि वो हर जगह जाके अपने दिमाग की बात ना हर किसी को बता नहीं सकता. That insecure, and I don't blame the player at all for it. In today's day and time, कौन सा न्यूज कहाँ लीक हो जाए, कौन सी चीज किसके पास चली जाए, मुझे एक ट्रस्ट चाहिए. So these batting coaches, bowling coaches are also, they play a very important role in trying to help the player express himself or
Yeah.
herself, on and off the field, speak your mind, and kind of, so that it allows the ecosystem to stay true to the game. So there are those roles. So technically it's not just about, kind of batting coach है तो वहाँ बैट पकड़ के दिखा रहा होगा कि आपको बैटिंग कैसे करनी है. Not exactly.
Hmm. So yeah,
Which is where
see,
Bharat Arun played a very, very important role with Mohammad Shami and Jasprit Bumrah, while he was around. When, we all know what was happening in Shami's life. It had taken a horrible turn, horrendous turn. And if you remember Jasprit, when he made his debut in 2018, the kind of flack he received for the action that he brought, and, all-time greats like Michael Holding going on to say that, ye kitna din chalega, he's not meant for the long run, kind of,
yeah.
So when a bowler like that comes back into the dressing room, you got to keep this guy like invested, make him feel like, kind of, it's okay, like, kind of, you still have to continue doing what you're doing. So, being a friend at times is far more important than being a coach. And that's where Ravi was Ravi.
Yeah. Okay, let's move to the next one. We had a question on our screen a while back where Bhaumik Tapas is asking why Pujara can't be included. Jamie?
Because the team has moved on.
Oh, that's a right rapid answer to this question. Let's move to the next one. Vyan Singh, look at the bizarre strategy of Indian coach. They have picked 4 seamers in the squad for turning wickets in India. Comedy selection, extra batter like Sai Sudarshan, Mayank, Rinku should be in. Chetan, I would like you to answer the last part of this question, because the first part of this question we have already discussed at length in this live. So the last part, why can't batters like Sai, Mayank, Rinku should be in these 11 or squad?
Mayank who? Agarwal?
Agarwal.
Well, Sai Sudarshan, I'm not sure. Sai Sudarshan, Rinku, see, ऐसे नहीं होता है. आप घर बैठे बैठे सुपर सेलेक्टर नहीं खेल रहे हो. एक प्रोसेस होता है. टीम मैनेजमेंट को किस चीज की जरूरत है, क्या है, किसने रन बनाए हैं फर्स्ट क्लास क्रिकेट में. साई सुदर्शन ने भी बनाए हैं. He's giving a good case for himself, playing for wherever he is playing. But एक प्रोसेस होती है. आप उसको हॉप स्किप जंप करके नहीं पहुंच सकते हो. ठीक है. So I don't know. I mean, घर बैठे बैठे सुपर सेलेक्टर खेलना बहुत आसान है. It's not as simple as that.
Okay, let's move to the next one. Gajodhar Mishra saying Dravid Rohit deserve far more flack than they are actually getting. I think Chetan's expressions and everyone's expressions are an answer to your question or your comment, Gajodhar. And I
could not
think we have
believe what I
already
saw in the first test. But anyway, chodo. Yeah.
Okay, next one, please.
Sorry?
Okay, Kuldeep saying, fun fact, Nathan has more test runs in the last 10 innings than Gill and Shreyas Iyer. Sahil, you have a big smile on face, so would request you to answer this one.
I don't know. I was speaking to Srini yesterday and today, and I was discussing with him that Shubman Gill and Shreyas Iyer could be playing the most important test of their life in Visakhapatnam, because Rajat Patidar and Sarfaraz Khan coming into the mix, and Mayank Agarwal doing what he's doing for Karnataka. I strongly feel this is going to be Mayank Agarwal's comeback year, the way he has been piling up runs in the last 2 years for Karnataka. And I still feel that he didn't get the long rope he deserved. The long rope which others are getting right now. Probably Mayank deserved more. इन दोनों का मतलब I don't know. Next test is very important with Rajat Patidar, Sarfaraz Khan, probably a Virat Kohli and KL Rahul returning for the third test. Important test for both Gill and Iyer. Run करने पड़ेंगे.
Yeah, their position in the team depends on that test. Well, let's move to the next one. Next question, please. Okay, sports fans just replying to what just Sahil said, because our top order is good for nothing. Okay, next question. Harsh Purohit is asking, do Indian youngsters are too getting timid when put under pressure like Jaiswal yesterday? I think we discussed it yesterday at length. But okay, Srini wasn't present in that live
Jaiswal,
test, so I'll give it to
second innings looked like a very different. I was not there on the show yesterday. I don't know what was discussed, but first innings he looked like a guy who was given the authority to go and play freely, play the way he likes to play, be aggressive, do the Indian version of baseball. And second innings, he looked exactly the opposite. It's almost like he had lunch or breakfast with Rahul Dravid. I don't know.
Exactly what we discussed yesterday. Someone whispered something which was not required in his ears because he
हाँ
completely
मतलब
looked.
मुझे ऐसे लगता है वो आधा घंटा राहुल के साथ द्रविड़ के साथ बैठा
हाँ,
और ग्राउंड पे आया और फिर उसके बाद में अलग ही इंसान बन गया काइंड ऑफ दैट्स हाउ आई सॉ द सेकंड इनिंग्स लाइक वेरी डिफरेंट बट या सो आई एम ऑल फॉर यशस्वी जायसवाल प्लेइंग द वे ही प्लेड इन द फर्स्ट इनिंग्स
Okay, next question, please. This one's from Priyanshu, and this one's for Chetan and Sahil. Why is Gill not playing on back foot? He just wanted to play everything on front foot. Firstly, Chetan, and then Sahil.
Yeah, because he's having some technical issues, and I think that is not being rectified at the level that he is at the moment. ये सिर्फ यहाँ से नहीं है जो फ्रंट फुट वाली बात है, ये साउथ अफ्रीका में भी he was trying to do that because he's a predominantly a front foot player. He's a tall guy, doesn't take that big a stride, लेकिन जितना भी वो stride लेते हैं, he predominantly his first instinct, his first trigger movement is to get forward. तो जब वो ये करते हैं, ये हमने साउथ अफ्रीका में देखा, तो ये शायद मैंने भी शो पे भी कहा था ड्यूरिंग द टेस्ट सीरीज, वो पुल कर रहे थे और साउथ अफ्रीका में पिचेस आपने देखी थी कैसी थी. He was trying to pull on those pitches on the front foot. ठीक है, so his first trigger movement is to get across in front. So that is a big problem. There are other big problems. श्रीनी ने कहा कि वो फंस गया है कि वो मिडिल ऑर्डर बैटर नहीं है, ये वो नहीं है. That's fine in one way. That's very very fine. But यहाँ पे he's not facing pacers at number 3. He's facing spinners at number 3, which he will face at number 4 and 5 as it is. So what is the problem there? The problem is the technical bit. जैसे मैंने कहा कि एक तो he's a predominantly front foot player. He's trying to get very very quickly onto the front foot. यहाँ पे he tried staying back so much कि मतलब खड़े रहे. The moment he gets on the front foot, tries to attack, gets positive, he got out. The other thing is his bat is coming down from gully. ये मैंने उस दिन भी शायद कहा था. His bat is coming down ऐसे तिरछा. As a number 3 batter, your bat cannot come down tircha. Your bat has to come down straight. It has to come down from between the first slip and the wicket keeper. So yeah, there are issues there. I'm not sure what's happening and who's going to sort out those issues for it.
Okay, Sahil, what's your take on this?
No, ever since he made his test debut, and ever since he has been scoring those runs for Punjab, he had that problem with the incoming delivery. If you see his mode of dismissals, mostly against the faster bowlers, वो अंदर वाली बॉल पे फंसता है. जब अंदर वाली बॉल पे फंसते हो, you're not that confident to go back because you know that there is one coming back into the right hander and it could trap you flush in front of the wickets. So that is why he's trying to get that LBW thing out of the way and getting that stride forward. And by doing that, because he's going hard at the ball, the way he got out in the second innings, लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिनर पे आप आगे जाके एकदम पुश कर रहे हो. ओली पोप ने जब वो कैच पकड़ा उसका, तो वहीं से आपको क्लियर हो गया था. फर्स्ट ही वांट्स टू गेट दैट फील ऑफ द बॉल ऑन द बैट. दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर हिम. दैट इज हाउ ही बैट्स. एंड व्हाई ही इज अ फ्रंट फुट पुलर, बिकॉज वो सारी जिंदगी अपने फादर के साथ वो सीमेंट की विकेट्स के ऊपर बचपन से ट्रेन करा है प्लास्टिक बॉल्स के साथ. So the short arm jab and the cutting jab which he plays, he doesn't play a traditional cut shot or a traditional pull shot. वो in front of square ही मारता है सारा. और उसका reason ये है because that's how he has grown up playing his cricket. वो front foot पे ही खेलता है. और बैकफुट वाला आई थिंक इट्स मोर इन द हेड राइट नाउ बिकॉज वो अंदर वाली बॉल पे जितना फंस रहा है. और जो चेतन बोला एकदम करेक्ट बात बोला, वो अंदर वाली बॉल का फंसने इतना दिमाग में जा चुका है कि अब आप स्पिन को भी वैसा खेलने का कोशिश कर रहे हो. एंड इफ यू आर जस्ट असेसिंग हिज फर्स्ट टेस्ट, आई थिंक फर्स्ट टेस्ट वाजंट द आइडियल प्लेस वेयर यू कुड प्ले ऑफ द बैक फुट बिकॉज वेरिएबल बाउंस केम इनटू प्ले एंड इट वाज अ स्लो टर्निंग ट्रैक, सो यू वर बेटर ऑफ डिफेंडिंग ऑफ द फ्रंट फुट. एंड दैट्स व्हाट Yashasvi Jaiswal showed. He was very positive playing off the front foot, and so that wasn't the right place to be going on the back foot. But I think it's a delivery which comes into the right hander, which has been playing up on his mind. उसीलिए थोड़ा उसका left shoulder भी मैंने थोड़ा open up होते हुए देखा because he wants to counter that. That's how a batter does that. You keep your chin on the shoulder, on the left shoulder, just to be wary of the delivery which comes into the right hander. थोड़ा सा गार्ड probably if you can start taking a guard outside the leg stump ताकि वो initial trigger जब वो करे तो वो leg stump पे आके खड़ा हो जाए instead of coming on the middle stump. So then he could be like more relaxed about the incoming delivery. That's how I look at it, primarily because of those incoming deliveries.
Okay, let's move to the next one. Arjun Vahi is asking, what if Rajat or Sarfaraz score a century? Who does one drop to accommodate Virat and KL? Jamie?
Shubman Gill.
Okay. Next one.
Jamie
Why are
sure
captain
is
is
not
never
scoring in
accountable?
Vizag.
Why are captains never accountable whenever any? Okay, this is a big question, and a lot of questions are around this one. That why Rohit Sharma never attends any presser after a defeat in a series or anything. Sahil, you have attended a lot of pressers, and I'll ask this to other panelists as well. Sahil, what do you think?
I don't know, yaar. Matlab, why he doesn't do that? He should do that. In the final, I can understand it was a very emotionally high moment, so he wasn't in the right headspace. But अब वो क्यों नहीं कर रहा? अब इस पे क्या
Rohit?
बोले? Yeah.
Rohit has attended more PCs than anyone here. वो क्या question है?
No, after
MS
defeats, like
MS
recent.
No, after defeats.
No.
Recent defeats.
After defeat, after anything, yaar, MS and PCs are like, let's not get into it. MS का
MS
PC
attended
history
PCs
देखो
after
यार.
every defeat. I have covered more MS PCs than anybody.
No,
MS
वो 2000
attended PCs after every defeat. Every defeat.
No, that's what I'm saying, that after that 2013 episode, he just like kind of made it very selective, yaar. Made it very selective. So अब जो basic norm होता है that you have to come, उसमें कोई ये नहीं है. I mean, like, I don't know. I've not seen anybody, whether it's Virat, whether it's anyone, kind of running away. Nobody, neither Rohit, never. Rohit
Okay.
has always been accessible to media.
Okay. Well, we'll wait for another defeat, and perhaps Rick Mistra, we can get an answer after that.
Wait
Let's
for
see.
another
Who knows?
defeat. Okay.
Who knows? Okay, Uday Kumar is asking, is basketball and training in Dubai work for England? No Alistair Cook this time, but okay. Jamie, what do you think? Did that practice help England or not?
I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. Is baseball and training in Abu Dhabi work for England? No Alistair Cook this time, but having a chef. समझा नहीं क्या
No,
क्या
let's
कह
not
रहा
go
है
to
ये?
the second half of this comment.
Cook and chef.
हाँ.
Cook and chef.
कुक एंड शेफ किया था. हम पहला वाले पार्ट पे
want to say
फोकस
Oh,
करेंगे.
cook chef.
Baseball,
Oh,
हाँ.
hilarious. Yeah. Huh. Is baseball and training in Abu Dhabi work? Again, two separate things. Baseball has worked 90% of the time. I don't think that has much to do with what they did in Abu Dhabi. It's baseball that spanked India in 4 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just one thing. A lot of people ask me on Twitter as well. I don't know if they're watching this or not. Ki that was not baseball. See, baseball is so obviously I was one of Jamie knows. I think everybody on the show knows. I've been a very vocal critic of baseball, but ठीक है, we were watching it from afar, and our comments were more to do with the noise around it, moral victory, this and that, all that nonsense. लेकिन बेसबॉल का जो मेजर कॉन्सेप्ट है, जो ये फर्स्ट टेस्ट मैंने क्लोजली देखा है, इंग्लैंड टीम को इंटरेक्ट किया है उनके साथ, व्हाट आई हैव कम टू अंडरस्टैंड, बेसबॉल इज नॉट अबाउट अटैकिंग क्रिकेट. इट्स नॉट जस्ट कि आप जाके सीधा उठा के चौके छक्के मारना शुरू कर रहे हो. नहीं, बेसबॉल इज प्लेइंग फियरलेस क्रिकेट believing in what you want to do and not regretting that. That is what baseball is. So when Tom Hartley, जब मैंने बोला आपको कि Ben Stokes is being stubborn, कि वो 9 ओवर दे रहा है Tom Hartley को, that is them believing कि Tom Hartley will come good. And look what he did. It is them believing कि reverse sweep is the way to counter Indian spinners. And look what they did. That is baseball. It's not कि आपने जाके सीधा चौके छक्के मारने शुरू कर दिए हैं. So the more,
Yeah.
because I was, thankfully I was closer to them, so I was able to understand this bit. And it is important to understand and accept it, because there's not just one one way to play sport. There are many ways to play sport, and baseball is one of the ways to play it, and it's working for England team. So good for them, and it is working. जो हुआ है
It
हैदराबाद,
is.
पहले
Yeah.
मॉरल विक्ट्रीज छोड़ दो, एशेस छोड़ दो, वो सब छोड़ दो. जो हैदराबाद में हुआ है उसके बाद कोई कुछ कह सकता है कि इट्स नॉट वर्किंग?
Yeah, you're right, because what we saw in Hyderabad was actually
Just to
something
add
that
one,
all can agree on.
just a 10-second comment to add on this. There's a beautiful interview of Dinesh Karthik. I'm not sure if others have read it or not, where he's talking about baseball and Brendan McCullum, the coach. It's in the Indian Express. Happened just before the Test match. And Brendan McCullum का जो insight DK ने दिया है, I think there are very few people who kind of give better insights in world cricket and on air now. So do read that interview. I think it was a good eye opener for me personally on Brendan McCullum and baseball, what it actually means. So that was a good starter.
Okay, let's move to the next one. Any news of Shami returning after second game? Read that BCCI may send him abroad for checkup. Not sure. Sahil, any update on that?
No, I wouldn't want to touch the second bit, because the moment that report came कि वो बाहर जा रहा है, he attended BCCI awards the next day in Hyderabad. So he hasn't resumed bowling yet. That is what I last heard. He hasn't resumed bowling yet. And there's a lot of time between the second and the third test. There is about 8 to 9 days of gap. So अगर शामी का आपको requirement नहीं भी है, don't rush him, because you're not going to bowl pacers a lot. So, just keep him fresh for the T20 World Cup if he figures in your scheme of things.
Okay. Next question, please. Given that Jaddu and KL are out, how important Rohit Sharma's role be with the bat? That's what the question is. Jamie, what do you think?
No more or less than it is even when they're playing.
Okay. Next question, please. Okay. Vian Singh saying baseball is positive approach and thinking out of the box, and our cricket under coach Dravid is last ball, being lazy and waiting for things to happen. This baseball versus last ball, what's your take on this, Srini?
See, the problem is the important part of this entire sentence is Rahul Dravid having an approach, and that too positive. I don't see if there is one. I really, Chetan texted me yesterday or day before, Chetan,
Yesterday.
about Rahul, day before, yesterday.
Yesterday.
He was like, I could see that how upset he was, written all over that text message where he said, Rahul Dravid needs to resign now. If
Oh,
India loses.
I sent that text when he said Akshar Patel at number 5.
Uh-huh. Yeah. If it is. So, to coming back to sorry, let's go back to 2019. Which year did we play the under 19 World Cup under Prithvi Shaw? 2018 it was, or 19, right?
18. Yeah.
18, yeah. आप वहां से आप जाके मीडिया रिपोर्ट्स देखना शुरू करो. आई डोंट वांट टू नेम प्लेटफॉर्म्स. आप जाके देखना शुरू करो. आप वहाँ पृथ्वी शॉ जाके वर्ल्ड कप जीतता है, मीडिया लिखती है आ कहाँ से रहे यंगस्टर्स. शुभमन गिल goes and becomes the sensation. It's like आ कहाँ से रहे ये youngsters. It's a factory that's there at NCA. Look who's producing it. So there was so much behind the scenes that went into Rahul Dravid, like the making of the guy who's been churning superstars, at the back end of Indian cricket. That is the narrative that was being spelt out. But unfortunately, at this stage, where at the international level, at the senior level, What coaching? Rahul Dravid's as a coach, as somebody who's been the greatest so-called number three, at this level, none of that works. At this level, the what kind of confidence you can instill in whichever team you have. Like, अगर गाबा में राहुल द्रविड़ होते और आपकी आधी टीम हॉस्पिटल बेड पे खड़ी होती, तो राहुल being the the meticulous man that he is, he would have been like, no, 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 yeah, we can't do anything. This is not how you play Test cricket. But what was the need of the hour at that time was a man who was ready to put all whatever bacha kucha resources in play, and kind of let's give it a fight, guys. Like, I am saying that you need a friend, a motivator out there, and I don't see those qualities in Rahul. Neither did I see those qualities in Rahul as a player, as a captain. Neither do I see those qualities in him as a coach. There are only two things which I will always remember Rahul Dravid for: the greatest Test cricketer of our times, perhaps, and the other fact was that in trying to serve his purpose as a cricketer across formats, he trained himself to become a multi-utility cricketer. He trained himself to do multiple things, and by virtue of which he found his place in the ODI 11. Anyways, I don't want to go there. But point is, as a cricketer, he far exceeded everybody and his own expectations to become a great. Beyond that, I don't see him, as someone who's added great value as a coach, as somebody who's added any kind of value in the dressing room. No. And
Okay.
why am I saying this? To put this in this context, last ball. I don't want to use terms like last ball and all. I'll just say Rahul Dravid as a coach, disappointment. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Well, lastly, just one word answer from all our panelists. What kind of pitch should we expect for the second test match, Chetan?
Slow turn batting pitch.
Sahil?
Turn from day 2. True wicket. Even
Okay.
bounce.
Jamie?
Sporting.
Jamie?
Day 2.
Sporting.
Over भी बता दो.
मैं चाहता हूं कि एक दिन तो ऐसा दिखे कि इंडियन पिचेस पे बैटिंग भी हो सकती है, कवर ड्राइव्स लग रही हैं, बैकफुट पंचेस लग रहे हैं.
हैदराबाद में
Okay.
देखा ना. This is one of
No,
the
they
best
can't afford to have a spin. They can't afford to have a spin track. They are caught.
Okay,
They are caught in
we'll
their
have
spot.
detailed
They are
discussion on this.
best pitch we've had in 5 years.
Yeah.
5
Absolutely.
years.
At least for the first
Absolutely.
3 days. Yeah.
Since South
Absolutely.
Africa.
I'm just
19
रैंक टर्नर बोल रहे हैं. अरे रैंक टर्नर बनाओगे तो बैटिंग कौन करेगा?
रैंक टर्नर में 1.5 दिन में हारोगे इस बैटिंग लाइनअप.
एग्जैक्टली, बैटिंग कौन करेगा? रैंक टर्नर
right.
बनाओगे.
बैटिंग कौन करेगा?
Right.
Jamie
आप बता दो.
Jamie's answer, and then
I said sporting, but you understand the dilemma that Indian cricket finds itself in. Historic 3 home test matches you have not won. A raging Turner, a Pata wicket, and what I believe is the best wicket. You failed to win on all 3. The signs are ominous for this team. Rank Turner, you cannot win. Pata, you will never win. And Sporting, you just lost. This is the crux of the bigger picture, which I'm sure we'll do more shows on. 3 test matches, not one.
Very well said.
Speaking of a
Very,
sporting
very well
wicket,
said.
Jamie, one second, Jamie. Speaking of a sporting wicket, tell me, when was the last time we remember a pitch like this in a test match in India?
There was a test match in 2019, just as the WTC team started to gather. Mayank Agarwal, a guy who averaged 69 at home. I forgot the venue. It was the first or the second of that 4-match series. Usme runs bhi the. I think South Africa. I don't know where to.
A double 100 in Visakhapatnam.
One of the openers, either Rohit or Mayank, got a double 100. 455 was scored. 300 was scored. No, but the point is, 4 innings mein, you got 400 plus. You got 300, you got 270, and one team failed to get 200. It had everything for us, and it was only 4.5 years ago.
Visakhapatnam. I covered that series. Pune mein Virat got a double 100. Mayank got a double 100, I think, in Visakhapatnam, and Rohit got a 100 in Visakhapatnam. That was his first test as an opener, I think.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I think what Jamie said just before this comment sums up today's live session, where he mentioned about the pitches and how Team India has failed to win any of the test matches on all of those kind of pitches. Well, what type of pitch will we get to see in the second test match? We'll see from 2nd of Feb onwards. But Chetan, yes, a quick remark that you want to make?
Yeah, just want to say, आप 2016-17 का home season उठा के देख लो. New Zealand came for 2 tests, 5 tests England, 4 tests Australia. Virat captain. None of the pitches were rank turners. None of
except
them.
Pune.
Except Pune, where India lost.
That backfired.
Yeah, backfired. But it was underprepared more than a rank turner. Anyway, इंग्लैंड के 5 टेस्ट जो थे, आपने क्या बैटिंग की, क्या बॉलिंग की, 100 भी लगे, 100 भी लगे, 150 भी लगे, विकेटें भी आई, अश्विन जडेजा ने रन बनाए, विकेटें भी ली. यू डिड नॉट नीड अ रैंक टर्नर टू बीट देम यार.
WTC, that's it. It's just the WTC, nothing else.
Okay, well, we'll talk about the pitches.
We need points at the end of every cycle. और उसमें हो जाता है. यार इस बार तो ये सीरीज in fact we need points from this series because आप देखो, we have Bangladesh, New Zealand at home, we are going to Australia for 5 tests.
Yeah,
that will kill our WTC. अगर ये टीम ये कर रही है तो
तब तक पंत आ
okay,
जाएगा.
well,
but just to add a quick this thing, we are talking about those years 2018-19, but वो time पे विराट कोहली, मतलब to use the Mumbai language, chabuk batting, like, you know, Virat Kohli was batting at a different level. Yeah.
We need. Srini has said this again and again. I just want to end this with this. We not only need Virat the batter. जाओ भीख मांगो, बोलो कैप्टनसी ले ले भाई. अगले 4 साल के लिए.
I think we have discussed this. We have discussed this a lot many times on this live. Well, we'll continue our discussion on the pitch in the next live session. For now, thank you so much, Jamie, Srini, Sahil, and Chetan for joining with me, and thank you so much, everyone, for your questions and opinions.
Fastest cricket score updates या सबसे detailed stats
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या healthy debates
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या fans का craze, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट.